All right.
We're in!
It's here.
I'm so
All right. Is that a golden snitch on your pen?
It is.
Oh,
Incredible.
okay. I'm not gonna lie. For a split second, I thought it was like a fork, and you had a piece of food attached, and you were like waving around.
For legal reasons, we're gonna have to blur that one out.
We're gonna for modesty.
You
we're
know,
gonna have to
JK
blur
will.
Because it is extremely phallic.
JK
So.
will.
that too. Well, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are super excited to be here this evening to jump into this D&D campaign. For those of you who don't know us, or for those who need a little reminder, we are Homebrew Advantage. We are just a simple little group of nerdy friends who absolutely love fantasy and storytelling and all there in between. We were able to do 2 fantastic campaigns as a group with some extra cast members, Jake and Bailey, who we love dearly and miss. And we hope they're doing wonderful with their little daughter Penny.
Little baby.
Little baby.
No, baby.
But our player Eric, say hi Eric, wave,
Hello.
was our GM for our last.
Hello.
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 Oh my god, he was our GM for our last 2 campaigns. He did a fantastic job. We were thrilled to get to explore in 2 separate occasions his world of Cessor Doom. We had some excellent characters, some of whom we have now memorialized in all sorts of different medium.
Right.
They're there. They be there. But now we're gonna try something a little different and a little new, and we're gonna hop into a new world. So a little something that I've been working on. I'm Theo. I will be the GM this time around, and we are gonna be in the world of Zholmyr. And I am.
God damn.
Here we go.
The fucking chaos begins.
What's the deal in Zholmyr?
Y'all, it's been 3 minutes.
Hey.
Check that off my bingo card.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's a wash. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. No, but bye.
Hi, guys.
That was appropriate. That was an appropriate one. Yes. But yes, as you can tell, we're a little bit of a fun-loving crew. So expect much of the same as we get started into this new campaign. I'm joined. You already met Eric, but I'm joined by a fabulous cast of characters here. We also have Jess. We have
Hello.
Kate.
Hi.
We have Michael. And we have Megan. And we are especially excited because Megan and Kate are joining us for the first time in the Homebrew Advantage family for this campaign. But they are definitely not strangers to the game or even to some of us here in the cast as well. So, without further ado, I say why don't we get started, pull the seat at our table as we dive into this new world. And the happy music ends.
I'm scared.
Oh no! What's next?
Bring it back.
All right.
TPK.
TPK.
Are we ready?
No. What if I say
Ready
no?
as we'll ever be.
Is it raining?
Can you hear? Do you hear that?
We can hear it. Yeah.
Great.
Gucci.
All right. Well, to start off, y'all are in a dark room. It's very dark, and it's very hard at first to make out your surroundings. And there's some bright flashes of lightning from outside, which does help to illuminate the room at times, but it is also making it a little bit harder for your eyes to adjust within the darkness. But with each flash of lightning, you can start to see outlines in the room. There's large furniture scattered around. You have tables, chairs, a large desk over in the corner. And except for the sound of the steady rain and occasional thunder from outside, the room is still and very quiet. As you all slowly make your way deeper into the room, that's when you can start to tell that something is a little bit off. Some of you can smell it at first. It's that metallic and rusty smell. Some of you can see it. A large lump on the floor, misshapen, different from the other, hard-cornered furniture scattered across the room. And as you continue to move a little bit closer, a body comes into view. Another flash of lightning shows that the body is face down on the floor, unmoving in a huge pile of blood. Your hearts start to kind of beat a little bit faster, those who have hearts. You stand over the body and you reach down to turn it over and look upon the face of this poor soul that you found.
Oh, she did.
We'll come back to that. We're going to go back in time a little bit.
What? Wait,
You
what? Pardon?
Excuse me, Theo, that's just rude.
So,
Who did?
here we
Who died?
go. Welcome to Zholmyr, everyone. A little bit about Zholmyr. It is a
Wow.
vibrant
Glad
Don't
somebody's
worry,
already
no.
dead.
It's one of us.
Zholmyr.
It's one of us.
Get to my intro.
So many questions.
All right, y'all.
What?
We're here. We're in Zholmyr. Zholmyr is a beautiful, vibrant, and volatile world that is very much alive and animate. Just like the blood in our veins, the material realm here is interlinked with an invisible trellis of power woven into every atom and every cell. This energy has gone by many different names, but it is most commonly referred to as the quintessence. It imbues Zholmyr with a level of consciousness unseen in other parts of the multiverse and fuels titanic and dangerous natural phenomena. In a realm where the very earth moves and changes around you, civilization has struggled for millennia to lay down roots. Legends tell of advanced bygone races and cultures who mastered the dynamic world around them, but their ancient secrets are lost to time. Then, 1,000 years ago, mortals learned how to cut directly into Zholmyr's raw magical essence, allowing it to be remolded and remade into new productive purposes in areas of defense, utilities, arts, and infrastructure. Through the extraction of this arcane resource, which humanity calls crux, they have drained much of the world of its power and therefore its danger. They have instead used the power of crux to build and fuel societies, population centers, and so civilization now thrives. Pockets of untamed and energetically explosive wilderness remain scattered across Zholmyr. These areas, called wilds, are overflowing with the purest form of crux ripe for the taking. The wilds are extremely dangerous and unpredictable, but with much of the world's crux supply now depleted, they are poised to power the future. It is on this razor's edge of hinterland and humanity where we begin our story. Tucked away in the northwest corner of a large continent called Zholmyr, here the inland port city of Scarport thrives defiantly outside the realm of the world's superpowers, protected by the towering Drowworm Mountains to the east and the treacherous seas to the west. Centuries of fierce independence has molded Scarport into a home for a motley crew of frontiersmen, pirates, freebooters, missionaries, smugglers, and sailors. Neither malevolent nor merciful, these proud residents of Scarport are loyal to none and yet fiercely protective of their own. And now, on this chilly autumn evening, we enter Scarport in a violent storm. I'm playing the wrong thing. There we go.
We're still working it out.
We're still working it out. The rain is falling heavily. Thunder is rolling down from the mountains. We see much of the city covered in a layer of darkness, even though it's still late afternoon, early evening. But the dark clouds are blocking most of the sun. We cut to a river, and there on the river is a lone ship. It is a schooner that is cutting through the rain, through the water, moving at a very fast clip. As it moves, it passes all sorts of different buildings, structures, towers, until eventually it comes upon a very large gate. And as it approaches, a voice from the deck shouts up, "Scarport ship for entry!" And sounds of chains can be heard as the portcullis starts to rise. Without missing a beat, the ship sails right through the gate, now into the city of Scarport. It sails down this narrow riverway, continuing to pass all sorts of buildings with lights that are slowly starting to flicker on in the darkness of the storm. It passes a couple of small islands scattered in the river until it eventually opens into sort of a large, protected inlet. The end of the river. There's a very large, tall stone tower on the right of the ship. And as the ship gets closer, those who are sitting on deck can hear a soft little kind of hum. It's sort of like boom, boom, boom. And eventually, the ship slows. It nestles into a dock. And the captain, up on top of the ship, yells down, "We made it to Scarport, just like we said. Safe entry, come on up." And two figures emerge from the underdeck of the ship. Eric and Michael. Would you like to describe what y'all look like as you come out into the rain and the board?
Go ahead, Michael.
Alright, I'll go first. So as Jasper walks up on the deck of the ship, he's wearing a duster with a traveling hood hung over his face, trying to conceal his features. He's a older elf, scarred, looks pretty worse for wear, but if you looked close in his eyes, there's purpose and kindness there.
And Eric?
Right. So Velterra is an Earth Ganassi, though it's hard to tell when he initially kind of steps up from beneath the deck of the ship, as he's wearing a hood that also kind of covers some of his features as well. Mainly beneath his hood is these rocky bark-like protrusions that are basically his hair. But he keeps them covered because beyond that, it's very tough to tell that he's an Earth Ganassi, and he tries to keep that hidden when he can. And so you see him kind of step up out of the bowels of the ship, and as he does, he kind of slips a few coins to the individual who kind of called them up from beneath, kind of tightens his cloak around his body a little bit further, and he's got sort of a leather armor underneath, carrying a small sickle at his hip, and he's got very deep, dark brown eyes that kind of peer out from beneath the hood of the cloak. He is typically a somewhat closed off for the most part, though as he kind of steps out from the ship and into Scarport, there's a noticeable kind of relief about him as he kind of steps into a familiar and somewhat safer place for him.
All right, well, the captain who beckons you all forth and walks down the plank with you to the base of the ship says, "All right, Val, a deal's a deal. I owe you nothing. I'm free. I got you in."
You did. Thank you.
I mean,
One last question.
hit me.
Do you know where Captain Arson's hanging out these days?
Captain Arison. Oh, yeah. Her ship just got back in not too long ago. She's, I think she's, well, she lives up in the Birth District, but her office is over in the Depot Center. She's probably there now because she's got a lot of work to do coming back from a very long sail. So I would recommend checking up there. I can't remember exactly which building, but you're smart, you'll find it.
Thank you. And safe sailing.
Always.
I'll kind of just end it there and turn and continue walking down into Scarport.
All right. So you walk in, and what you see when you get off, the captain dropped you off in kind of the sort of central shipping area within Scarport. So here within the big central bay, there's sort of different sectors that have been allocated, dock area, and spots for their ships to stay and lay anchor, whatever you want to call it. So he did in fact drop you off fairly close to the depot center. So as you get off, you're seeing there's a couple other ships around you. Most of these are in fact like shipping vessels that are meant for cargo and for transportation. There are some sailors that are starting to offload from certain ships. They, a lot of them just kind of carry crates, generic items that you would see within shipping. They're loading them on these kind of large flat platforms with little wheels underneath. And once they've kind of reached capacity, you hear again that same sort of little hum, that's sort of like boom, boom, boom. And the vehicle starts to move on its own up towards much larger buildings up in the depot center. So where are you heading?
If I take a quick look around first, can I see if there's any just looking around at this place that I imagine I'm somewhat familiar with? Mm-hmm. Can I see if there's anybody that looks kind of unusual? Obviously, I'm not haven't been here in a while, but is there anything that's out of place as we're kind of obviously trying to stay under the radar here?
Give me the first roll of the campaign, which is going to be a perception check.
Oh, wait, this goes well.
Big ol' +0. Big ol' +0.
A major
what
plus
your
zero.
Earth Ganassi eyes see.
Okay, it's a 16.
16. That's a good first roll of the campaign. Yeah, I mean, so you look around. Nothing looks super out of the ordinary. None of the sailors that are unloading seem particularly on edge. They're kind of just just doing our day's work. But you do also, a little bit in the distance, you spot that one of the ships has a kind of green rim all around. I forget what you call the edge of a ship. But not the railing, but right underneath. I should have looked up some more ship lingo.
The deck?
The trim.
The trim of the ship is a dark it's a dark green color, yeah, with some purple accents, and you recognize this as the Hyacinth, the ship of Captain Arison.
Well, our smuggler friend was at least honest with us about that. Looks like the captain's here. I don't know. What do we make for first?
I think maybe we head to that warehouse district. Seems where she's holed up right now.
Okay.
You sure this is still the best way to go about this?
If there's anybody to trust in this city, at least, I think Captain Arson's the one.
You know this area better than I do.
All right. So I think what I'll do is lead Jasper in the direction of the depot center, right? That's where we're headed. Doing our best to kind of stick to maybe less traveled streets and alleys. I do feel better in Scarport now that we've gotten here. But knowing Jasper's situation, I'm going to still do my best to kind of keep an eye on what's going on around us.
Yeah, and Jasper is gonna keep his cloak up, just out of an abundance of caution.
Sure. So as you are making your way up into the depot center, is there anything that you're looking for in particular to try to orient yourself at all?
I guess, am I familiar with kind of where Captain Arson's generally been holed up? Is this new for her? Is she like in a new place, or do I kind of know where we're headed?
So most of the times that you've seen her have not necessarily been at her place of business. She does tend to keep a little bit more to herself when she's managing her business. You probably ran into her more in the general public settings, stuff like that. But that's not to say you haven't also you've been to this area before. So I would say just give me an investigation check just to kind of help you or see how you start to like find your way through the streets.
Okay. 15.
I'm guessing lower.
Slightly,
Hey.
but not much.
Wasting all your
Yeah.
luck?
Oh, yeah,
I
no,
know.
I roll really well when it doesn't matter. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that is the Kaboski way. We do great on our rolls when it's just all for fun. And then in moments like, say, I don't know, jumping over a well, the rolls go very, very badly.
You guys are going to
That's
notice a
very
distinct lack
specific.
of wells in this campaign, by the
No
way.
wells.
Not one is going to make an appearance.
Only
Not a single
flowing
well.
water. No digging
Yeah,
in. No digging into the water table.
Uh-huh. I wonder why.
Just rain
There will
catch.
not be. For context, for those watching, my character in the last campaign tried to do a really cool parkour move in an arena fight in a coliseum, rolled a nat 1 and fell down the well in the center of the fighting pit, where he remained for the rest of the fight.
What's that? Little Kami fall down a well?
The good news is my loving party, thankfully, did not, give me too much trouble for it for the rest of the campaign. They were very forgiving, and that's absolute sarcasm.
Of course, yeah, that's our way. Yeah.
So what are your
Anywho,
friends for?
Oh my god.
Well,
so I think
Well,
Friends will help you
No.
out. Best friends will laugh at you and remind you of the bad beef you did.
Not bad beef.
not good.
so. Then I think what I'll do is just kind of knowing the captain as well as I do or don't. I'm gonna do my best, just to kind of figure out where she might be hiding.
He goes to the place
Perfect.
with the thing.
So you managed to do a really effective job, just between the two of you, understanding your purpose. You're here to find someone. You understand that right now, for the moment, it's important that y'all remain fairly inconspicuous, just kind of making your way through the street, and you're able to kind of tap into. Did that hurt Michael to not say it?
No, go ahead.
he held back.
Good. I'm so proud of you. Anyways, you're able to kind of tap into your memory and remember the labyrinth that is these streets. Scarport's not necessarily the most effectively or efficiently laid out city, but it is one that you've been able to visit many times before. And as you work your way up through the depot center, you actually spot, not too far in the distance, a tall male human who you recognize is actually the first mate of Captain Arison's ship, the Hyacinth. You remember that his name is Colton, and you see him sort of kind of watching some of his crew that are sort of scattered about the area. He's kind of keeping tabs of the situation, and he's standing outside for the area, a relatively large building with a big slate roof.
Okay. I will kind of start walking in his direction, and as I do, and if he kind of starts to take notice of two hooded figures walking in his direction, I'll kind of drop my hood to just so he can kind of see who I am, and just kind of raise a hand in greeting to him, but not call out his name or anything. Just see if he kind of recognizes me first, and then walk up to him.
You can see as he's sort of bored, kind of going through his work, he sees you and he perks up a little bit at clearly what's a somewhat unexpected but still exciting surprise. And so he raises his hand back and starts making his way towards you, and he yells, maybe a little bit louder than you would have cared for. He yells, "Velterra, you're back in town!"
I'll kind of smile at his lack of subtlety, but I'll kind of reach out and kind of grab his arm to greet him. In a much quieter, hushed tone, I'll kind of, as we get closer, I'll say, Colton, always a pleasure to see you, though unfortunately I think we are on a bit more serious business. We're going to try and keep our presence here on the low, if you understand.
Yeah. While he's like addressing Colton, as Colton like yells to us, I'm immediately hand to the hip, kind of like eyes over my shoulder, just looking to see if anybody like is paying attention to him addressing us.
And in that
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
moment, go ahead.
and you what?
Just in that moment, I'll kind of introduce. I'll look back to Jasper. I'll say, Colton, this is a new friend of mine. His name's Jasper.
Nice to meet you.
Well, howdy, Jasper. Welcome to our. He kind of looks up at the rainy sky. Our beautiful city. We're always happy to have guests, and if you're here traveling with Velterra, you're definitely in good company. But you know, hey, far be it for me to blow your cover, you know, whatever you got going on. But so what brings you back here? It's been a minute since we saw you.
Yeah, I hope to come back on better circumstances, but this one, we both had some trouble in the wilds, and ended up kind of on the same path for the time being. And we're hoping the captain might be on a similar path that maybe could help us out.
Well, you know, the wilds will get you every time. I don't go in there anymore. Used to be fun, not anymore. It's gotten crazy over there. You know.
It's gotten worse, hasn't it? That's not just me.
Now it's gotten worse. I mean, look at this storm. It's been going on for 5 days.
Has it been that long?
Shit spilling out here. Yeah. Thank God we got the hush tower out in the bay, keeping, you know, the crazy shit out of the city. But
you said something was spilling out?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the wilds aren't too far from here. We got the windswept wilds over to the west, and
of course,
the mountains are full of all sorts of crazy shit. That's why I just stick to a boat. I don't want to go up there.
I have found my time with you and the captain to be some of the calmest in general. So,
well, you know, she respects you, Ganassi to Ganassi.
I do, and I do appreciate that friendship and that respect. Where exactly is she holed up at the moment, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, yeah, no, she's just right up in her office. I could take you up to her.
Yeah, it'd be great. I haven't actually been to her place of business before. I've generally fraternized with you guys on a much more social basis, which has been great, but not what we need at the moment.
Well, welcome to our hub of operation. I'm happy to show you in. Come on.
It's bigger than I thought it would be.
Well, listen, we're one of the few companies, you know, one of the few crews that's willing to really travel to the far ends of this continent. So we gotta have a place that represents the scale of our operation, so to speak.
Well, it's good to see. But yeah, I'll follow you, Jasper. It's this is a crew to be trusted. I promise.
I'm with you, bud.
And Jasper, as you are listening to the conversation, I know you mentioned you were kind of looking around, taking stock of everything. It's the same sort of thing that Belle was able to see. These are just a bunch of kind of deckhands. Just they're pissed off that they're out here in the rain. They're trying to get this job done. This just unloading and manual labor finished as quickly as possible. So there does not seem to be too much out of the ordinary, or no one seemed to really react to the conversation that was happening between the three.
I'll ease up a bit on the tenseness. I feel like at this point, me looking for it is now making it more suspicious than just going about our business. So I'll
Don't be suspicious. Don't be
Don't be
suspicious.
suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Well, with that, Colton will just head up the few steps into the front of the building. Y'all follow. But before we get to that, we are going to jump to another part of town. So we are now entering the Rock, or as that's more what it's colloquially known as from the residents of the town. It's actually, the full name is the Rock in a Hard Place. It is the tavern, the saloon, whatever you want to call it, here in Scarport.
a watering hole.
The watering hole of the city.
Do they serve gabagool mozzarella?
They absolutely do not. They absolutely do not. But so we're gonna cut now to the interior of the Rock. It's a large establishment. It's definitely the biggest one in town. Tons of tables and booths and stalls set up all throughout. There's a slight stage, kind of raised stage in the middle, where there's a kind of instrumentalist that's kind of lazily strumming along the strings while the patrons in the tavern are going about their business. And on such a rainy night like tonight, it seems that a lot of folks have chosen to come take some refuge here in the cozy tavern where drinks and food abound. And three of those patrons are seated at a table a little bit off in the corner. Three ladies. Would you all like to kind of introduce yourself and what we describe who those three individuals are that we see seated at the table?
Davina, do you want to go first, or I can?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So you see one person, and she is a Vila, which is a homebrew race created by Theo. And she is on the smaller side. She's slender, and she has pale white skin and long, wavy silver hair. And in her hair, you have some purple in there as well. Her eyes match that purple. They are bright, and you get a sense that she doesn't miss much of what's going on around her. She has a tattoo of a cheetah that starts at her right collarbone and goes down her shoulder and down her arm. And she's dressed in very dark but simple leathers with knives tucked in at her belt, and then also a knife and a holster on her leg. And when she smiles at you, you're sort of reminded of a cat looking at her prey. And her name is Violet, also known as Sal. And Sal is in her comfort zone. She has a beer in hand and is enjoying the lively environment of being out of Verkova, where she traveled from.
Who else?
Okay, well, I am also playing Avila, and
she is sitting there next to Violet, and the first thing you notice about her is her mechanical arm. But there's more to her than that. She usually wears red with some simple leather, which is what she's in now. And she's got long platinum blonde hair with gold eyes. And she looks and gives the vibe of resting bitch face.
Yeah.
That
Heart
is that is what she's giving off right now, because that's what she's feeling just a little bit right now. A little put out.
It's giving don't fuck with me.
Exactly. Please get out of my
It's
sight.
giving, my sign is no. Just
No,
Where's the
thank you.
VIP booth?
It's too crowded in here.
Exactly.
oh, awesome. In a third seat at the table is a woman who looks a little bit different from her companions. First being that she is almost 7 feet tall. Second being that she is made of metal. You see a massive, wide body draped in a deep blue cloak over a gleaming white, gold, and blue breastplate. Large metal arms, legs, and bits of porcelain parts helping her joints. And a porcelain doll-like face that when she turns to survey the room and keep an eye out for any trouble, half of it is broken and held together with gold rivers. And Elaine looks around. I don't like this place.
You and me both.
Oh, come on, both of you. Learn to have a little fun.
I don't drink. I can't have fun here. Remind me again why we're here.
We're looking for Violet. Sal, is he meeting us here?
Listen. He is okay. We just need to give him a little bit of time to find us. He's
Sal,
elusive.
was this an excuse to get a drink? Is that what this is?
It's a pathetic excuse.
Rag her.
Well, maybe I'm just trying to get you guys to have a little fun, okay? It's been how long, Dev, since you've been out of Verkova, right? So long. Don't you want to experience a little bit more than what them, snobby folks have to say there?
I look Violet right in the eye, and I just down the shot. I just down a shot. I said, I've seen enough.
But at
Almost
the same time,
almost on cue, as soon as your shot glass empties and hits the table, an automaton appears almost out of nowhere, right at your table. It's sort of a tall, kind of goofy-looking automaton in a humanoid shape, and he says, "Hello, can I get you another shot?"
yes,
Make
she
that
wants
too.
another.
What can I get you?
Me?
Something strong.
No.
Something really strong.
A way out?
Get us the Scarport special, what I typically get when I come here.
What, lighter fluid?
Mhm.
Scarport special. I don't know you. I haven't seen you. I'm new. I just got here a week ago. I'm replacing the old automaton.
What
He was
happened to the
destroyed
old
in a bar
automaton?
fight.
What?
He was destroyed in a bar fight.
How often does that happen?
All the time.
Oh, you poor thing.
Stay strong
Right.
out there.
I'll do my best. That's what I'm programmed to do. I'll bring you the Scarport special. And he kind of wheels and rolls away. He's got these little wheels on his feet. It's almost picture a kid in Heelys, but a little bartender automaton.
I can only see Claptrap. That's the only thing that I can see.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
man.
Elaine, I'm so happy you're not like him. That.
I be careful with the comparison.
I will.
Did you think he was cute? What's the thing
What is
with?
cute? What is cute? I don't find anything cute.
Okay, well that answers
I
that
find
question.
I find things either a threat or killable.
Well, he's definitely not a threat. I do that threat assessment. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, what is he on a scale of 1 to 10, Sal?
Like -1. Negative. Yeah, just he's in the negative.
Oh,
Not
good.
not a concern.
I thought we should be worried there for a minute.
No.
What
Oh
am I out of 10? Out of curiosity.
You're like a 20. You're 20.
no,
Elaine.
yeah.
This is why I work for Davina.
25.
Okay, I like you.
Just playing favorites. Always playing favorites.
I know who to get on my side, Dev. I'm not gonna mess
I
with
thought we
her.
were all on each other's side.
I mean, we are.
We're all on each other's side. I would just prefer if we made things a bit more efficient.
Well,
Oh?
efficiency is definitely not my middle name, but it's Dev's. So, do we want to give ourselves like, I don't know, Dev, Elaine, maybe 10 more minutes here? Take that shot and then skedaddle?
That sounds excellent.
There's
I think
so
I've
much
got bar dust
multiplicity.
on me.
That's a good way to live, I'm telling you. You're going to get even more than that kind of dust on you.
Disgusting.
Embrace it. And I put my arm around her. Just embrace it.
When you do that, you feel on your other shoulder another arm come and touch you. It is ice cold to the touch. And you hear, Sal Gal, are we having a little group hug over here? And you turn around and you see the pale skin, the leather vest with some fur kind of lining the trim of it, and the eyelashes that seem to look like they have little snowflakes that are just permanently kind of like frost crusted in. And this is Niall, the Ice Ganassi, who you have come to meet.
Niall, we've been waiting for you. Take the shot.
Him?
Well, I mean, first you gotta introduce me to your company here. These
yes,
are
of course. Niall, forgive me. You know that I often get ahead of myself. This is Davina Sinclair from Verkova. You've heard me talk about her. And this is Elaine, her butler.
Wow,
Your pleasure, I'm sure.
It is, Miss Davina. Niall Arison, it's a pleasure to meet you. You're stunning.
Lady Davina.
Yeah, here, take a seat. And I get up from next to Davina so Niall can sit next to her. Take a seat.
Niall plops as fast as he possibly could in the seat right next to you. And he's looking at you, Violet, but he's kind of like looking at Davina every now and then, too.
I give him a little snap with my teeth. I just...
So, listen, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I know you guys have traveled a long way, all the way from Verkova. I mean, thanks for coming on such short notice. I know it seemed a little, I guess, strange, the message that I sent you.
It certainly had us intrigued.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't bring you all the way here if it wasn't something special. Now, I know, Sal, Violet, whatever, you call yourself these days. She, she's had me looking out here in Scarport if there's anything interesting that you or your contacts might be interested in knowing a little bit more about. And I found something that I think you're really gonna want to see. Well,
Sure, sounds like it.
but this probably isn't the best place to do it. Let's go. Listen, I talked to Libby, the bartender, and he told me we could use the back room. So do you want to get
Yeah.
out of the noise here?
Mhm.
Yes. I
Oh,
love more
joy.
waiting in preamble.
What'd you say?
I love more waiting.
Slash F.
She is straightforward, and I appreciate that.
She is.
But yeah, here let's get out. We'll open up this table to one of these other low lights that want to get a little bit more. So you'll get up, and you start to make your way to a door, kind of just behind the bar. And Violet, you've been back there before. It's just kind of a more private space for folks to be able to meet. So if
Okay.
Niall was able to secure it for y'all, that's where you go.
Can I quietly whisper to Sal as we're walking back there? I'm just gonna say, how well do you trust this man?
I mean, not with my life, but I trust him enough to give us some solid intelligence as to whatever he's found. He's hooked
Okay.
us up, Dev. He's hooked us up before.
Oh, I
We
know.
have not yet been led astray by him.
Okay.
So we should
I'm
still be
trusting
careful.
you. I'm trusting you, not him. Just to be clear.
Okay. And when we get to the back room, I want to look around behind us to see if anyone has been extra interested in our conversation. Naya showed up, or
Give
in
me
us
that.
before.
Give me that old perception check.
My old
All
school
right.
Tommy gun, rat-a-tat
Got my
tat.
new dice.
Give me that old perception check.
Ooh, that is a 16 plus.
Ooh.
16 plus 5, so 21.
21.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, you kind of, as you're making moves now, you're getting up to see if anyone's sort of paying any particular attention to you, and no one seems to be doing anything that seems like shady or out of the ordinary. Niall is a known entity here in Scarport. Um, so as he gets up, there are a couple of people that kind of raise their pints to him, sort of say hello, and as you guys are making your way through, it's sort of the same thing. You could tell just who he is. He's gregarious. He's definitely has other folks here within the Rock that know him, that he's friendly with, that he says hi to, but no one necessarily seems to be kind of giving you any sort of weird vibes.
Okay. I relay that to Dev and Elaine.
All
So,
right.
Niall, it has been a while. How have you been?
Well, that's what I'm excited to tell you. So he brings you into the room and he closes the door behind you, and he kind of ushers you to a smaller table, that's a little bit more intimate. And he says, you know, I've been grateful for the work that y'all sent my way, but my business has kind of taken off. You know, being a guide up in the mountains, and I've actually gotten some folks asking me to take them up there too. And there was a really interesting group that came here. Oh, I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. That's when they came back, I should say, in Scarport. They wanted to go deep up into the mountains, real deep, farther than I've ever gone before, farther than I've ever felt safe going before. But they flashed some pretty serious cash in my face, so I couldn't turn them down. I went all the way up, brought them to as far as I could navigate. They told me to sit, wait tight. So I set up camp. And you know me, I'm an ice ganassi. I can live up there. It's pretty easy for me. But they went even farther. I'm talking like far, far up to the peaks. They came back 5, maybe 6 days later and had me bring them back down. And that was it. But on the trek back down, I was able to nab a couple of things off their person.
Naughty boy.
I got, ice gets a little sticky when it gets. Nope. Anyways, so
It really does not.
Fucking Christmas Story.
Immediate. Immediate
So-
regret.
I don't need an NPC bail so quick.
I don't want to. I just met you. I don't want to disrespect you. You know, you're one of my patrons. You know, I don't want to. Anyway, so let me show you what I got. And with that, we are going to jump back to Mr. Jasper and Mr. Velterra. So, Colton has led you up into this large office building. He takes you inside, leads you through a few hallways before he gets to a long hallway with a light at the end. There's an open door at the end. And as he walks down, he kind of raps on the wall and says, Captain, you got some friends here for you. And you hear a very cool female voice from inside say, send them in, Colton. And he ushers you in. And there, seated at a desk, in her, what's the word? Her, known trench coat that she wears, her long blue trench coat, with her very, very dark green skin and long, very straight, dark blue hair, is Captain Laurel Arison, seated at a desk.
So as we walk in, Vel kind of much more jovial than he's been up to this point. Now that he kind of is in what he thinks is, at least feels is like a more secure and comfortable space. He kind of walks in with his arms wide, kind of gives her a big smile. Says, Captain, your favorite's back.
Velterra, my favorite Ganassi. Don't tell Niall I said that.
How is he anyway? How's he been?
Oh, Velterra, he's such a handful. I try to get him in line. There's so much that he has at his disposal. You know him. He's a smart boy. Well,
Too smart.
he's an ambitious boy. Yeah, clever maybe is more the word I'm looking for. A little too much for his own good, but he's surviving, and that's all I can say as a mother.
Stayed out of trouble so far since the last time I saw you all?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we just got back from a very long trip. Actually, we were all the way down picking up cargo in Serenis, all the way down on Pokis. It was
Good gosh.
longer voyage than I anticipated, but it does feel good to get to see some new parts and especially see more of the sea.
Well, I'm certainly glad you made it back when you did. I'm sorry to say this isn't a social call.
Business call then.
Something of the sorts. And I kind of motioned to Jasper kind of stand aside so he can kind of step up.
Yeah.
And this is my friend Jasper. We've met recently, though our paths have aligned for the time being. And Jasper, I will let you explain your situation, as you are free to divulge as much as you wish or as little as you wish. So I'll kind of stand aside and give you the floor for a moment.
At this point, he will pull back his hood, and you'll see deep gashes that have healed over and looks like they've been cut again and then healed over and then cut again and healed over. And bright white hair pulled back into a tight bun and a braid that wraps around the bun that sits on top of his head. And he'll walk up to her and say, I appreciate the meeting. I'm told that you make voyages uh, south and around the tip of the continent. Is this true?
I do, yes. One of the few captains from Scarport who makes such journeys.
Well, as you can tell, I'm not from around these parts. Uh, I
A
need to
high
get.
elf.
Yes.
Interesting.
Have you met many of me?
No, I can't say I have, especially not here in Scarport. I mean, I've been lucky enough to make port a couple of times within the Ilbrian, and lovely people. But a people that likes to stick to their jungles.
Yes, well.
And
Wish
yet,
I. W-
here you are.
Well, I don't want to be here, which is why I come to you.
I take no offense.
It seems traveling through this part of the continent, being of my descent, and he pauses and can't quite decide how he wants to say the next part, and so he just says, uh, recent circumstances have me being a little bit more to myself than I'm used to. Uh, and I've been told that you can discreetly get me where I'm going.
She slightly shifts her eyes over to Vel with a little bit of a, like, kind of look, and then she shifts her gaze back to you, Jasper. And just where exactly are you going?
Tilo Asari, of course.
Well, I must say my sweet little hyacinth doesn't quite travel that far up the river to the capital.
As far as you can get me, I'll take. If you can get me to the tips of the jungles, I'd be. You'd have a friend in Tilo Asari, let's just say that.
I would, of course, accompany you all on this, and I've agreed to help Jasper. Wherever you drop us, I'll accompany him the rest of the way myself.
Either one of you or both, you can do an assist whatever. Make a persuasion check.
Ah, sis.
The first roll that matters.
I give
So I'm
Eric
going at
advantage.
That's
Because I look like a scary little boy. Not old
I
man.
Got
Scary
it.
little boy.
I rolled two dice.
okay.
I rolled 2 4s
God
No.
damn it.
for a total of 9.
Ew.
Let me just see.
Oh God.
Captain Arison leans back in her chair and
And I.
considers the two of you in front of her for a couple seconds. And she says, well, I did just return from quite a long voyage, and an even shorter voyage than the one you're asking me to potentially make. But I do need to make my way back down to Gabethis soon. Is that agreeable to you, making a trip to Gabethis, to your Ilbrian port city?
What's the trek? How long would it be from there to Tilo Asari?
Like walking
So,
line?
Yeah, walking wise.
yeah, I mean, walking wise, it would be, let's see, probably about like a week. But the thing is, Gabethis is part of the Ilbrian network. Like, it is a high elf
Sure.
city.
Yeah.
There are other means of transportation besides just trekking through the
At the
jungle on
at the
foot.
very least, I could send word.
True.
Okay.
True.
Uh, that would be much appreciated. And I have some pull with the High Council, so if there are any favors that you need pulled, You just let me know. If we get there safely.
Well, you are an interesting friend to know indeed. May I ask, why not just make the journey by land? It'd be much shorter.
I'll
Maybe
kind
I'll.
of butt in at this point, and I'll just kind of give her a look, and I'll just say, we are attempting to keep a low profile, and traveling with you and yours would perhaps draw less attention than to the likes of us traveling across the continent on foot.
And let's just say the ones who gave me these would be quite happy to have me back.
I see. Well, Belterra, you know I just adore you. But this is a big ask to take an unscheduled trip to such a far destination. So, I wonder if you might be open to doing something for me in return.
You know, I just love helping you out when I'm in town.
Yes. Well, it's Niall.
Oh.
Yes, exactly. He's been a little bit more elusive lately. I worry he's starting to fall in with the wrong sorts. And I know where we live. I know where I've chosen to raise him. But still, I worry that he will end up stuck in a place he won't be able to pull himself out of. So I wonder if I take this journey, when we come back, would you be willing to serve as a first mate of mine on a voyage with Niall aboard and show him the ropes literally and figuratively?
Well, I certainly, I can only imagine what a princeling trying to make a name for himself in a place like Scarport can get up to. But, yes, if we are able to help Jasper, I would be glad to step aboard the Hyacinth once again, or however long you may need.
It is then that you feel, Valterra, a little tingling in the back of your skull, and a little voice bounces around in there and says, "Do we get to go back on a ship? I loved the ship that we
Those
rode here."
those in the room kind of see me kind of like look over, not quite over my shoulder, but just like look to the side. Um, and I'm like, would I know you're months old, but would you grow up? Yes, we'll go back on a ship.
It just went so fast.
It will be much longer this time, I promise you. And I think Jasper is probably familiar with this weird sort of interaction, hearing one side of it. I don't know if the captain's been exposed to this particular thing yet. She probably hasn't.
Not since it is in the current situation that it is in. That is a
Right.
relatively new
Yeah.
change. So she looks at you oddly for a second and says, "Yes, well,
That,
anyways,
my good captain, is a story for another time. Perhaps once we're aboard and traveling, I will fill you in on that particular development.
well, I can't wait to hear it. Unfortunately, I have to wrap up with my host trip business here. I'll need a couple of days to gather the supplies, and my crew won't be all too happy to know we're going to set sail so soon.
But it's with me, and you know they're just gonna love that.
Of course.
What if there's anything we can do in the meantime as you prepare? Just let us know. Otherwise, we're probably gonna go to ground and try our best to stay out of sight until then.
Well, if you're looking for a place that's a little bit more conspicuous, you are welcome to stay with us at our dwelling in the Birth District, should you wish.
You're always too kind.
Don't mention it.
I think that might be best for now. There's not that I don't trust those in the city, but I don't trust those in the city, and I do trust you. So I will stick close to you when possible for the time being.
This is why I like you, Belterra. You're wise. Well, in that case, let me wrap up here. I would recommend taking a load off, heading to the Rock. Niall mentioned he was going to be heading there tonight. It'd be nice if you could meet up with him. I'm sure he'd be happy to see you.
I'll go catch up with him and convince him to accompany us on this particular trip, and perhaps I can start our deal a little early.
Wonderful. Well, this was indeed a pleasant visit.
Always is with you, Ken.
I will see you back at the house later this evening. Follow Niall. He'll know exactly how to get there.
Will do. And I'll kind of give Jasper kind of a head nod and give the captain a wave as we step out.
And before you step out, she does call out, and Jasper,
Yes.
don't forget our new budding friendship.
Not likely, my friend.
Excellent.
And as we
She
kind of
leans
are
back
walking
over.
out, I kind of look back over my shoulder in a similar manner, and I'll kind of say, "You've got to butt out until we are in private."
Hated.
Still getting used to this. Just wait until we're alone before you start throwing words around in my head.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not used to being stuck only seeing what you see and hearing only what you hear. I could normally divert my attention elsewhere.
I know. Well, you're about to see some brand new sights that are going to be certainly new to you.
I can't wait.
I'll head out with Jasper and head in the direction of the Rock.
Alrighty. Speaking of the Rock, let's get back in there, shall we? So, we cut back to the back room of the Rock. Niall, joined by 3 lovely visitors, huddled around a small table, and he says again, and you're gonna love what I got for you here. And he reaches into his sack on his back, and he pulls out a tall golden feather. And he kind of holds it up and he's like, ta-da!
Okay, and?
We came all this way for a bird?
No, Niall, just I know that you'd love to showcase things, but can you just tell us what it is?
Oh yeah, I was hoping you would ask. So, I snagged this off of one of the carts that we were pulling back down with a bunch of their bags and their shit. That group that I was showing up in the mountains, right? And it was from I didn't see it when they went up, but all of a sudden it was sticking out of their pack when they were coming down. So I pulled it out. And I said, I could probably sell this for good money, you know? I mean, anything. Gold feather? I don't even know what lives up there that has a gold feather.
Birds. Birds have gold feathers.
She's a
Birds.
smart one. Birds.
But not
Birds.
not every bird has gold feathers. So
And you know, I've been up to those mountains a lot, and I've never seen a gold bird. But anyway, that's not even the most exciting thing. That's not even
It
it.
gets better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, joy.
spill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I discovered this by accident, but it's gonna blow your mind.
I highly doubt it.
Oh, okay, I'm so sorry, darling, but you've said that 3 times now.
Just so much. Sorry.
He's saving the best for last. He's saving the best.
If you pull out a
That is-
second fucking feather, I'm going to lose my mind.
They don't have a second feather, but it's not here. It's back at the house. Anyways, so he puts the feather down on the table, and then he also reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a small, bright, kind of neon blue, tiny little gemstone. Now, you all would know that this is called a pith gem. It is a type of, you could think of it almost as like a carrying case for crux energy. It has many, many uses within the world today. Davina, you especially know this because a lot of your father's operations involve making these types of gems and these types of crystals. And he puts it down on the table, and you can tell by its glow that it is in fact charged. And he goes, now watch this. And he takes his hand, he looks at it quickly, it sort of hardens in like an ice ganassi way, kind of hardens his hand. And then he goes, well, bam! And he slams the gem, and it shatters. And these wisps of blue vapor start to rise up out of the gem as this kind of crux energy gets released from within its battery. And the vapors start to float up and kind of dissipate into the air when all of a sudden they start to swirl and sink back down. And you realize that they're moving towards the feather. And the feather ends up taking all of the vapor and sucking it right into its body, right into its form. And then Niall goes, ta-da! Right? I thought that was pretty special. I mean, think of
I'm trying.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
right?
this, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying really hard to be impressed here.
I mean, come on, the ability to just take in raw crux energy into a physical form. I mean, it's pretty rare. It's hard enough to do that with the technology we got these days. To have a feather. I mean, if we find this bird, if we find this bird, and we get more of these feathers, do you know what you can build with that? You know what you could do with that?
I'm thinking.
And listen, whatever it was important enough that this fancy schmancy group of people risked their lives to go all the way up to the peaks, pay me a shit ton of money to take them there, and bring it back down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would like to insight check Davina. I want to see if she's actually impressed or not.
No, are you serious?
Yep.
Well, go ahead and roll insight.
Okay, well, what would that be against?
That would be against your deception or persuasion, whichever you choose.
Don't worry, it doesn't matter. I rolled a nat 1.
Hey!
First nat 1 of the campaign, baby.
Yes, I know nothing.
She's mystified.
Whatever you give me.
Okay, Davina appears to be thinking it over and then says, okay, I just have one question.
Yeah.
How did you even discover this? Did you see them do this with the feather and the crux?
No. So I had the feather with me at my house.
At my house.
At my house.
I thought you were going to say you had an accident. And
well, a little bit. I knocked over my lamp when I was trying to look at it, and it broke the pith gem. And then I watched this happen, which was so strange to me. So then I went to the lamp in my mom's room, and I broke that one, and it did it again.
You can't egg your mom on like this. Okay, she's gonna be mad at you. She's already. Fine. I know.
She's already on my back about everything.
I know,
wait, so now we've got his mom mad at him about something, and then possibly these strangers are upset with him for taking their feather and their crux.
They don't even know. We finished a 3-day hike down that mountain, and they were none the wiser.
Your confidence astounds me.
Thank you.
No, honey, that wasn't a compliment.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
This is fascinating.
Is it?
I don't know
Is
what we're
it?
gonna
Is
do
that
with it
what
yet.
you're
I
calling
don't. It's information, right? Elaine, Davina, we're just getting intel. It's just that we might want to also know like who exactly took this trip with you. Like, can you give us some names?
Well, no. They didn't give me any.
Davina is so
Niall?
put out right now. She is so put out.
Niall, we've talked about this. You're our contact. We are paying you to give us information. So, do you need a higher salary? Like,
What?
No.
What? Absolutely not.
I'm kidding. I'm
This
kidding.
could have been a letter. You could have written the
Can-
letter with the feather.
can-
We didn't need to do all this.
No,
Hey,
this
what
is
is it?
no. Again,
We
Niall,
got
we are
on
very
a boat
appreciative.
for this.
No, and Elaine, I'm telling you that we can work with this. This is good information to have. Anything with Crux is good information for the three of us to have.
Okay, I'm not gonna disagree with you,
But I'm gonna disagree.
but it's so hard to see this as a credible source of income when we're dealing with a practical child.
Look,
Found
Tell me I'm wrong.
a child who found this feather, though.
Who doesn't even know
Exactly.
who hired him?
Well-
You don't even know their names.
Well, I don't.
Niall, you can describe them to us, right? Like what they looked like, how many of them there were, where they came from. Like you don't need names for us to figure out from what you tell us who they are. And Davina, you're the one who knows everyone. So if we have a little bit of a description, you can hunt them down.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm never wrong.
Didn't-
Okay.
Well, okay. So, yeah, I didn't get their names. They were really. They didn't really talk to me much, to be honest. They weren't very talkative in general. I like to meet people. I like to know people, and they didn't want any of that. So I kind of learned to just hang back and just kind of show them where they needed to go. They were real, I don't know, kind of snobby looking. They came in these big, like expensive looking furs. You know, they definitely weren't from here. That's for sure. And since Scarport doesn't have an airship port, they must have come on some form of a ship. I just don't know where from. But anyway, there were 5 of them. There were 5 of them in this group. I want to say it was like 3 women, 2 dudes.
You don't sound certain about that.
Well, I don't know. It's not my place to gender everybody I meet when I haven't gotten the
Okay,
chance
can
to
you-
know them, you know?
Can you at least start with race? Do you have any idea what they were?
Yes, there was at least 2 humans. I think they were humans. They had hats on. I couldn't see their ears. I couldn't tell if they were elves. It's cold up in the mountains.
Okay,
You know?
keep going.
There was a dragonborn. She was real feisty. She was something else. Then there was this really tall, skinny blue dude, but not like blue like me or like Ma. I mean, he was weird looking, like bright blue. And then the 4th one was, oh, it kind of looked like you actually. Pale skin, light hair.
Like a villa? Okay.
Yes.
And perhaps a Vidalkin?
I don't know what's Vidalkin with you.
Don't do this.
But
It was a good try.
Yeah.
they seemed to they were, for all their all that attitude they had, they held their own up in the mountains pretty well, I gotta say.
Mm,
Okay. We don't have much to go on.
Really?
no. But I would think a group like that with a dragonborn, clearly not from Scarport, walking around in Scarport would create some notice.
Can I rack my brain, GM, for if I would know what a bright blue?
Right, say that again. What a what?
Can I rack my brain with all of my travels if I would recognize when you said like a bright blue
Yeah, give me a history check.
race? All right. Okay, that's a base 19 with +5, so that's 24.
Yeah, I mean the way he's describing it, a tall, skinny, bright blue person. There's not much else it could be but a
Vidalia.
Vidalkin.
Vidalkin.
Vidalia. He's an onion.
Vidalia.
This bitch is an onion.
You got layers.
Gotta peel them back.
Vidalkin.
Violet rolled a 24. Jess is not rolling so high, but that's okay.
No.
Does this Vidalia onion have a talisman?
In the next session, they will.
I was going to ask if, based on what Niall described them wearing, if I would know where they're from, and if any of them did sound somewhat familiar to me, if I know like associations that.
Yeah, also give me a history check as well.
Okay. Ooh, okay, 18 to 20, dirty 20.
Beautiful. So, yes, I mean, Vidalkin are almost exclusively found in the Delesian Empire. There are few other places in the world where they are particularly drawn to, especially with their drive for progress in knowledge, science. The Delesian Empire is certainly where most of them call home. And on top of that, there are definitely a few Vidalkin who have made their way into high society, not necessarily within the aristocracy per se, in terms of like family heritage, but through other positions of power throughout the empire, whether it be the Grand Emperor's Council or the Order of Xanthos or that sort of thing.
But I don't know any that like hang out with a dragonborn or anything. Known associates. No. Okay.
So
wow. I'm so glad I traveled all this way for this.
Well, I didn't think you would believe me if I told you what it could do. If you didn't see it for yourself, I thought it was a big deal.
I mean,
clearly.
Dev, Elaine, it's an object that can store Kruk. Do we know of any other objects that can do this? I don't think so, other than storing it in
absolutely
a container.
not.
No. So
the object itself is not what is I'm thoroughly interested in it. My issue is how it came to be here and what we're going to have to deal with as repercussions.
Can it release crooks? Or is it simply absorbed?
I don't know. I don't have a lamp that could do that,
I think that's for us to figure out. Okay.
I mean, you can see it if you want. He kind of like holds the feather out.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So.
And do you have any more of those? What were they? Pilth?
Pith. gems.
Pith gems? Do you have any more of those? How many have you broken?
So as you ask that question, and Violet's hand makes contact with the feather,
No.
Violet, your vision goes black. You all of a sudden, you feel like you are no longer Violet. You are no longer like you are just nothing. You are stuck in this space that just feels like the emptiness is suffocating to you. And then you hear a very, very faint whisper in your head that just says, and it, oh, sorry, I feel like the microphone doesn't pick up whispers
What did
very
you
well.
say? What did you say?
It said, go back.
Project, bitch.
And you sort of shake yourself out and the feather drops to the ground. And Niall says, well, I don't really have too many pith gems left because I already broke a lot in my house.
What just happened?
No. What?
What? No,
So,
You can tell that I'm like Devin and Elaine. You can see that I'm totally frazzled. I'm not someone who gets frazzled very easily.
I put my hand on your shoulder. Okay, calm down. What just happened?
Are you okay?
That was weird, and I've seen weird. Whoa. Well, when I touched the feather, I went somewhere that was not here, and I wasn't myself anymore. It was very claustrophobic, and you know how I hate small spaces. Anyway, and someone said, I heard a whisper, and they said, go back. So obviously I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, but I don't understand. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. And I'm gonna just sort of clear the space around the feather, and look at.
I give you a really, not that I don't believe you, but I give you a little bit of a skeptical look, and I grab the feather.
Just holding the feather.
Okay, Dev, listen. You can trust me. I've only had a few drinks, okay? Like just a few. I experienced that. That was real. There's something going on with this feather. It's more than just a container for crux.
Niall's like, see, I told you it was important.
And I look, yeah, I make eye contact with Niall. Wow. I'm gonna pick it up again.
The exact same thing happens. But this time, the voice seems to be quicker in its response to you.
Yep. Same thing happened.
Okay.
Elaine, Elaine, you should touch it.
I pick it up.
You're holding the feather?
Oh.
And when I hand my hand out, hold my hand out for Elaine to pass it to me.
I put it in your hand.
The feather's in your hand.
Okay, Sal, sweetie, I love you. I know you've been through a lot, but this is just a feather, babe.
It's a feather from a gold bird, and it does something weird.
It's more than that. It's so much more than that. Do I have a chance when I'm in whatever area it takes me to? Can I talk at all, or am I not even able to form words?
Like in that moment, you're nothing, and then when you get back, you can like recall what was happening in that space.
So can I get insight on Sal to see if she's fucking with us or if she's being real?
Sure. Go ahead.
This bitch.
What is happening?
No.
Tell me it's in that one.
Is it?
That's
Oh.
I mean, against your deception or persuasion, Jess.
I mean, okay, let me roll. Well, I rolled a 3. So it's persuasion from me. You can tell that I'm extremely earnest. And you've spent years with me. You've seen me lie. You've seen me in a whole load of crazy situations. I am being fully honest with you.
Okay. Okay. All right, Sal.
Yay!
Okay, I
Good.
yes.
I don't really know what's going on here. I'm sure y'all have had a long journey. I'm sure you're tired. I mean, if you want, we can just head out of here.
And go where? Back to your place? Back to
Well,
that other tavern I like?
I have a second feather that I should probably get out of the
Okay,
house.
we're gonna need all the feathers and all the gems. I don't trust you with any of them.
We're gonna, Niall, we trust you, but we trust ourselves more. So if you could just,
Yeah.
Because you're
Really?
not wrong. This is
Something's with me.
Yeah.
But yes, you're
Well,
not wrong. This is important stuff.
All right. Well, then yeah, we could go get the second feather and then.
yeah. And
Ye-
Niall, let's just keep an eye out. We have the descriptions of the people you traveled with, but they might find out that you stole from them. So let's just be a little extra careful. Don't talk about this with anyone else, okay?
Yeah, I didn't really
Have-
consider that.
Have you talked to anyone else about this?
No, that's why I reached out to you guys first.
Okay, good. Keep it that way.
Well,
Oh, here we go.
I told my mom I went up the mountains with a group that hired me, but I didn't like give her the details, you know?
Your mom already doesn't like us.
Just like anybody. That one guy.
Okay. Okay, all right. Well, let's go get the second feather, and I'm gonna put on a glove and pick up the gold feather.
Yep.
Nothing happens.
Nope.
Great, and then I'm going to put it in, like tuck it under my shirt, where it's safe.
Davina just watches Violet being so careful with this feather, and she just gives a lifted eyebrow, like, okay.
Well, let's get out of here. So you guys start to make your way out of the back room. You re-enter the main room of the Rock, where you get back into the revelry of all sorts of different patrons that are enjoying their rainy evening here with a drink. And as you're making your way through the tables, in through the doors come two figures, Belterra and Jasper. And Niall is kind of navigating through the tables, like, oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah, hey, buddy, how you doing? And then he goes to the door and he goes, oh, Belterra, what the hell are you doing here?
Niall, your mother told me you might be hanging out around these parts. Told
Oh,
me to come find you.
don't tell me Mom sent you after me.
No, not in this particular instance. She did send us to look for you, though. I have a friend. We're going to be crashing with you for a few days until your mother can get something set for us.
Ah, well, me and my friends were just heading back to the place now. We could all head back there together.
If you don't mind
Not
me
like
asking,
that.
who are your friends?
Oh,
And he kind of gives just kind of passes across his eyes across the four of you.
so sorry. Yeah, this is my good pal Sal. We go way back, kind of. And then this is her friend, Davina. And then her other friend, Elena.
Elaine.
How do you all know Niall?
Business.
Sal.
I don't think it's any of your business.
The
Just like
distance,
give them the up and down.
the distance Davina wants from this man.
Yeah.
And then
I
again,
really-
you hear really quick in the back of your skull again, Valterra, you hear that voice. That person doesn't have skin. That person doesn't have flesh. Maybe they're just
Yeah,
like
well-
me.
Neither do you. Yeah, exactly. I kind of whisper under my breath at
Do we see you whisper?
yeah, probably. I'm not like particularly adept at hiding it necessarily. And I'm just gonna kind of like even more under my breath. Now I am trying to hide it. I'm gonna whisper under my breath to Vol and just kind of be like, what vibes are you getting off of these guys? And just kind of see what he thinks.
They're all so different, and they're really pretty.
They're pretty.
Helpful, as always. So these are business associates of your mother's, Niall?
No, they're my business associates. I have a career too, you know.
What business are you in these days?
Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we talked about this.
Niall.
When you're going to lie, you need to be more convincing. We've talked about that, right? Because mountains, okay, mountains isn't a business.
It's like saying my job is beach. You can't just say my business is mountain.
Yes.
Oh, the crossover we didn't know we needed.
And Sal is just staring you down. Just
And
You're
Davina's
staring at
sitting
who,
right
at
next.
Niall or at Valterra?
at Niall.
Oh,
Davina's standing there with double eye force, double starage.
I'm gonna just kind of put my arm around Niall and like, kind of turn him away from the rest of the group. So like the girls are behind us and Jasper's in front of us. And I'm just gonna say, Niall, do you mind if we talk outside, just two of us for a moment?
make an intimidation check.
Ooh.
And while that happens, I'm going to use a psionic whisper to form a telepathic link with Niall.
Oh my God, everyone's chatting with everybody.
That's a 19 total.
Sure, he
And
goes.
he goes outside.
He goes. Sure. Hey Sal, can you actually close out my tab and I'll see you outside? Okay, great. And then he kind of just.
You owe me. Okay. And then you're going to hear a whisper in your head that says, "You owe me so much money already." And remember, Niall, don't say anything about the feather. And we are just business associates who support the legal crux trade, okay? Because Davina's father is in crux, so it's an easy lie to sell, okay? All right. Remember that.
Yep.
Yep.
He's gonna mess this up so bad, Sal.
So I'm just gonna kind of walk him outside, and I'll give like a nod to Jasper, just kind of like just keep an eye out.
Hey, Vel. Can I have a few coins for a beer?
I don't have much left after the trip, but I'll give you what I got, and I'll give you literally whatever money I have on me at that point, which is probably like, I don't know. I probably have like 2 gold on me left at this point.
You keep it. You keep it. I don't need to drink that bad.
I'll give you 1.
I'm going to say to Niall, is this your mom's favorite? In his head.
I'll
Oh
look back
yeah.
and I'll just say yes.
I
So
think-
I'll kind of walk him out. And I'll just be like, I'll just kind of once we get outside kind of the voices and stuff of the tavern, talk a little bit quieter to him. I'll just say, Niall, be honest with me here. You went over your head?
No.
No. I listen. This group, they know what they're doing. In fact, if I'm working with them, I'm in lower than my head. They bring me lower than my head. So
Okay. I'm going to tell you all the reasons later why that's not a good thing. But for now, your mother's going to be helping us out. I got my friend in there. He's just trying to keep a low profile. Maybe it's best if you and your business associates head somewhere else for the evening. I'm not sure how much trust you have in them, but we're trying to keep things quiet.
oh no, I have the most trust in them. I mean, they've been so good to me. They're good people. I wouldn't be worried about them.
I'll kind of under my breath and like to the side, like, well, what do you think? And just trying to get a read on Niall and what he's taught, like get a read on what he's saying here, and if I believe him or not, but kind of like talking to Vol about it.
Yeah. But Bull goes, well, he's not using the squeaky voice that he does when he lies. This one's different.
That's good insight. Okay. And I'll kind of turn back. I'll say, all right, Niall. But you and me, we're gonna go over some stuff after all this, because I respect you wanting to have your own career, let's call it. Maybe that's generous. But you got to be better. You just got to be better. Is all I'm gonna say.
Better.
Just all of
And
it.
so,
Just all, yeah, exactly. Who's the person? Just do better.
I got all the love and the respect for you and your family. So we're gonna get you to a point where you can be successful. Okay, when you're all out here on your own, we're gonna get you there. All right.
Yeah. I think. Thank you.
I'll just kind of turn back around and go back in to collect Jasper.
So dumb.
So bad.
Niall, what did he say? I say this telepathically to you.
He didn't. Don't worry. He didn't prod too deep. He was just wondering if he can trust you, and I said yes because you guys are the best. So
We are. Okay.
I'll head back in with Jasper and use whatever money we have left, probably for a couple drinks and maybe some food before we head back with Niall.
okay.
Just
Anyone else
because
want to get
we've been
anything?
on a ship for God knows how long.
That is true.
I am so sick of oranges. Like, I know they're necessary on a ship, but I'm so incredibly sick of oranges, Phil.
So Niall kind of pulls up a seat
You
at the table.
just
And
see him take an orange and just like throw it behind him. Like, yeah, no, me too. Let's get something else. Let's get some
Fucking
different
hate
food.
oranges.
Yeah, man. Am I right? Gross.
I
Okay.
think like while people are kind of like milling about, if there's a moment where I can kind of like act like I'm going to do recon, I want to slip a couple of gold pieces to the automaton. And I want to tell him, buy something that you like, something useless, but something that you want, and then leave and go back to the lady.
so you do that. He's up at the bar. He sees you come over. He kind of like perks up with his automaton face. He takes the coins and he says, "I love when patrons order drinks. I'll pay for some drinks for my wonderful patrons."
It's a step in the right direction.
Thanks for coming in. Just washing a glass.
I'll go back to the posse.
All right, so y'all are able to enjoy a nice little meal at the Rock while right before you head out. So Jasper and Velterra definitely feeling a lot more restored and renourished after the oranges.
Fucking oranges.
And as the meal wraps up, Niall yells out to Libby, "Libby, this is going on my mother's tab." And then the automaton at the bar says, "Of course, sir." And then Niall heads out the door.
Vel will kind of follow out, but he's gonna probably keep Jasper and himself at the back of the group,
Oh,
both
yeah.
watching those in front of him, and Jasper will probably also be watching those behind. Like, this is I think a sort of almost dance that Jasper and Vel have kind of gotten down at this point. Whenever we're traveling, just kind of like always keeping our back to the wall, so to speak.
Sure. The other three, are y'all doing anything noteworthy as you're walking?
Not particularly.
Alright.
I will say to Jasper, kind of at the back, I don't know. What do you think of this crew? They're kind of a surprise. I wasn't expecting more people in this mess.
I mean, that's her son. That came out of her.
Yeah. You can see now why she wants me to join them on the next trip and maybe help whip him into shape a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know him, but just, I won't say anything until.
So would I know who exactly, not who exactly, but like the kind of people that are looking for Jasper or who we're trying to avoid?
I mean, so the most of what I've told you is I don't really even know.
Yeah.
Like, I remember what the their uniforms look like, and I haven't seen them as long as we've been together. So,
Okay. But
um,
these three aren't it,
no.
is kind of
Would
my
I know what Avila is? Or like,
Yeah, you'd be aware.
okay, I'd be aware.
Yeah.
Um,
You probably haven't seen a ton, but yeah, you know that they exist.
cool.
Okay, then yeah, probably just keep an eye out as we're walking back. But other than that, nothing else.
Okay, cool. So you guys are walking through the streets. The rain is still continuing to absolutely pour down. The thunder is rumbling. It's that like deep. It is that deep
Let that
thunder.
rain.
Yes, exactly. It is that deep rolling thunder that when it hits, it just sort of shakes your chest. And especially Velterra and Jasper, you notice that the lightning seems to be flashing even brighter and faster, and there's even more thunder rolling down than when you pulled in on the ship. It's a gnarly storm. I mean, you're even trying to have some small talk with folks, but it's hard to even hear each other over the pour of the rain. And Niall yells out, it's like, "We're almost there. It's just a little bit more up on top of the hill." And so y'all are continuing to walk when all of a sudden there is a bolt of lightning that strikes right in front of where your group is standing.
Niall's dead.
Y'all are still alive. This is
dead.
the loudest rattle of thunder that any of you have ever heard. The light is so bright that it actually blinds you for a second, like something like a flash grenade going off. And it kind of startles you all for a second. And as your vision starts to come back, you look, and standing in the street in front of you is something that was not there seconds before when you all were walking. It is a giant figure. It's dark. It's black. It seems to be almost cloaked in shadow, but at the same time has this very large, dominating presence to it. And it kind of stands up tall raising itself even higher than it already was. Two large wings unfurl behind it, and it unsheathes a massive longsword. And we are going to roll
Oh,
initiative.
God damn it.
Oh,
Let's go!
Fucking go! Alrighty.
It's
real quick-
happening!
Before that
Theo, roll
officially
low.
happens, when the flash of lightning first hits, Vel has a brief kind of PTSD moment. And as soon as he sees it, hears it, registers what's going on, he immediately kind of leaps to the side of the street, rolls down on a knee, and kind of pulls his sickle out, and is just so you kind of see him in a crouched pose, sickle out once once we're looking at whatever it is that came out of the lightning. But he immediately dove, rolled, and was ready for something.
Oh boy.
And for some additional color, I think as we were walking in the rain, Elaine and Sal, if you're cool with this, Elaine, I feel like Dev is probably miserable in the rain. So we're holding something over her
I'm
head
melting.
so that she's not
I
getting
have-
so that she's not
I
getting wet.
have an umbrella. I have color.
You have an umbrella?
for each of you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm so excited to be a rogue.
Do you want it kind of in the Roll20 chat, Theo?
No, you can just tell me. I have something up that I can record it in.
Okay.
Rad. You're calling us.
Just shout it out when you got it.
Oh, 15.
Do you have a
I
map
also
up,
got
Theo?
15.
Oh, yes! I have to do Roll20 things!
Whenever did the walkthrough, Theo? We'll do that still.
Jess, what's your dex?
My dex is 18.
Okay, so you go before me. So
Okay.
I also rolled a 15, but I have a +2.
All right.
All right, hold on. Let me mark that down. So Elaine.
All right, I'll be here.
Also.
Alrighty.
okay, I
All
got
right,
it.
what else?
I had 9.
9 for Velterra. Sorry, what'd you say, Davina?
24.
Ooh, 24.
Whoa.
Damn.
Jasper, what'd you have?
I got a 20, and I thought that was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Oh, you
Just
think
done
of
something
something.
I thought I was a
Okay.
fast boy, and apparently I'm not a very fast boy.
You thought you were somebody.
I thought I was somebody.
Look at our little guys.
Just as I thought.
Look at it.
Trash.
We have little guys. I gotta assign you all permission.
I love our
for
little
your-
guys. Oh my gosh.
Wait, why can't I? Hold on.
I can show you that later, Theo. If you want to control him for now, that's fine.
Okay.
For those of us who can't control it, if you guys click on the map and hold, you can ping where kind of you want to go.
Ping, pang, pong.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh,
But, yeah.
there's a big boy. He's big.
He's large. Is
He's
what
He
he is.
is big.
Did you
He
know?
large.
Did you know he large?
Some would say he's in.
Oh,
Okay.
where are we on this map? Oh, okay. All right.
While things are can I get a lay of the land? Is there a way to get high ground?
Yes. So to give you guys some perspective, the way that these roads are set up, they're a little bit tiered. So the road that you guys are on right now, immediately to the right are some buildings where you're at level with the buildings, and then so there's some second stories with some roofs. To your left, or to the left of the map, I should say, is a tiered lower than you. So the roofs of those buildings are pretty much even with the road, the pathway that you guys are now. And that pathway on the bottom of the map is sort of a ramp that heads down.
That's a switchback.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
exactly.
Cool.
So, first up, we have Davina.
Oh my God.
Okay. So how much of a look did I get at this creature?
I mean, you get a pretty good look. It's standing right in front of your face, pretty much. I mean, like, how much can you see?
Does it happen to be wearing any metal?
It does, in fact, look like it is wearing some sort of metal armor.
I'm gonna do like a little like wave of my arm, my mechanical arm, and I'm gonna like throw a little like visage out. And I'm just gonna say melt, and I'm gonna cast heat metal.
Ooh.
OPS spell.
Another
I
kind
love
of
that
burn.
spell.
So what does that
Good.
require on my end?
Nothing.
Nothing?
That is, yeah, no, nothing.
It just takes damage because it's wearing armor.
Okay.
Then
Just
hit me.
hot metal.
Yeah. So that's 16 damage.
Ah!
All right.
Yeah, 2d8, 16. And then bonus action, I'm gonna give Sal, you're up next, right? Before Elaine?
Yes.
Yes.
Or no, it's yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
give
yes,
you Bardic Inspiration.
She ain't gonna give it to me. She don't know me.
She don't know you.
Is
He doesn't
there
know him.
is there any
No,
sort of
I
specific
don't know
way?
you. I don't know you like that. I think it's just gonna be like a little whir of her arm, and then just like little finger shoot inspiration. Boom.
You're gonna freak. Hey, you're doing great.
You get an inspiration. You get an inspiration.
Inspiration.
I said she did finger
Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
I'm
I
just
love
gonna be
it.
like, that's why
That's
you
how it is.
That's why you leave the shooting to me.
I absolutely love it. Well, Miss Violet, you do in fact have some bardic inspiration ready to go on your
Woo!
turn.
All right. I'm going to bonus action hide and sort of dive behind that cart there.
Well, sorry, you are up before Elaine, but next up in the initiative order is Jasper.
Me.
Oh, just kidding. I
Yeah.
got ahead of myself.
Punk.
All right, Jasper, what you got?
Okay, so first things first. I want to try and jump up on the. I'm gonna hardcore parkour, like jump off this wheelbarrow to try and get up on these roofs.
Nice. Give me an athletics check.
Yes. That's a fifth. What is my athletics?
Nah, you a narc, bro.
You sure it's not dexterity or it's not acrobatics?
I would say because it involves a jumping, you're using physical force.
I'm just being an asshole.
Oh.
But my athletics
Shopping.
+1, so 13.
13. All right, so
Ooh.
you go and you run and you jump up onto the wheelbarrow to lift yourself off. And as you leap and push, the wheel of the wheelbarrow actually buckles a little bit. It's not necessarily fully
God damn it!
on the ground, but you are still able to get the handheld, pieces. Like you get your hand up there and you're
Okay.
able to pull yourself up, but you have no movement left for the turn.
That's fine. Okay. Once I'm up on the roof, how did it look? Did it look to take the fire damage well?
Oh, that was fire damage.
Yes.
Was that fire damage? Okay.
Heat metal
This
is
is
fire damage.
DM is learning his first combat that he's running.
Woo!
So as a matter of fact, it definitely hit him, but there was barely like a notice. Like there's some scorch marks now on the black armor,
Okay.
but he didn't move really much.
Okay, cool. Then in that case, I will yell down to Vel and be like, "Looks like fire's not the answer." And then I will
I'll just be like, I don't have that.
I'm going to. I'll shoot at it. I'll pull out one of my pistols, and you just hear a crack as I shoot at it, and I'm gonna aim for its like thigh, and I'm gonna use a web shot on it.
Okay. Remind me what that does and what that entails for me.
So you need to make a strength save of 13.
That is after you roll to hit, correct?
Yes. I definitely hit. 15 plus 8 is 23.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
And so I make a strength save. You said
Strength save.
that. Ooh, that's a good roll. That is 21.
Yeah, it's gonna save. So I shoot and it hits it in the thighs, and you see spider webs explode from where the projectile hit this figure, but it kind of just like shrugs through them, I guess. But it still takes damage. Still takes.
So he shoots the gun.
He go
The
pew.
gun.
Pew pew pew.
Pew pew pew.
All right. Ooh, that's good.
Have we seen guns before? Like I probably have on my travels, but yeah.
I would imagine. They're not. It's not like everyone has one, but
Yeah.
they're around. You've seen guards with them and stuff like that.
Okay.
14 damage.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Ooh, that hurt. All right. Anything else on your turn?
I think I'm going to save other stuff for now. So I will just chill.
All right. So the figure still stands menacingly in front of you as Violet. It is your turn.
He's just standing there.
Menacingly!
Jasper is on the cart, or
I'm on the roof.
You're on the roof.
I got on the roof.
He's on the roof!
I'm on the roof!
He's on the roof.
I'm going to try and bonus action again, hide behind the cart. I roll stealth.
We're gonna hide behind the cart, like the wheelbarrow that Jasper just tried to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good question. Former rogue players, do you need to roll stealth to do that?
Yes.
Hide.
To hide, bonus
Yeah.
action hide. You're right.
Yep.
And then it's passive perception for whoever the guy is.
Beautiful. There you go.
I'm using my first cunning action. All
Let's
right.
go.
That's an 18.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
Does it give you passive perception on monsters?
Yeah, so whatever their wisdom modifier is, just add 10 to that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm going to stare this creature down and create a shimmering purple blade in my right hand, and then chuck it at the creature's chest, or where I see an opening in the armor.
Sure. So Violet pulls her hands together. She draws a dagger out of pure psychic energy in her hand, and she throws it. Give me that roll.
Yay! Oh, this is so exciting. That is a 23 to hit.
23 to hit. That sure as hell hits.
We be hitting.
Excellent.
We be hitting out here.
Baby! And then I get to roll a 1d6, and that's a 2 plus 4, so 6.
All right. Boom. 6 damage.
And then because I had advantage on the roll. I'm gonna do my sneak attack damage as well.
Okay, so remind me how the sneak attack damage works. You roll extra dice, right?
Yep.
I just roll an extra 2d6.
See.
Yeah.
And roll them 2d6.
Yeah, because you were hitting
Another
them in the head.
2.
Yeah.
And then a 6, so an extra 8 damage.
Not bad.
Hell yeah. Good stuff.
Sneak attack feels good.
All right. Elaine, what
Alrighty.
you got, girl?
Okay, I got a couple things. So first, what I want to do is I'm gonna run to about this square. I want to put myself between Davina and this creature.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I am going to channel divinity. So my crux core, you hear like this humming kind of grow, and electricity crackles. And I champion challenge this thing, and I'm like, you seem like a fair fight. So as a bonus action, I issue a challenge that compels other creatures to do battle with me. So it needs to succeed a wisdom saving throw, but on a failed save, it can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from me.
Okay.
So wisdom save for him or it.
That'd be a 10.
That fails. So it cannot move more than 30 feet away from me.
Okay.
This effect will end if it or I become incapacitated. So other people can do damage to it. Or if for some reason I move more than 30 feet away from it.
Perfect. So you issue this challenge to this creature. It stands stoically holding its sword, and it's kind of been staring up ahead. And you see its head kind of tilts to look at you, and it sort of just like acknowledges your presence in front of it.
Awesome.
But that's it.
So that's my movement and bonus action, and now I'm gonna hit it.
Hit it!
Yeah.
I draw retribution, and I'm gonna take a swing. at this
Wham,
thing.
bam, wham.
Oh gosh, let's see. It's a 16 to hit.
Does not hit, unfortunately.
16 doesn't hit?
16
So
does
So,
not.
so
I think
you know
you're
what?
wrong.
It's information. That's what we're
Yes.
calling it, right? It's information,
Yes.
even if it's bad. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I'm here now. And I'll just sort of menace it. Can I actually make a quick perception check and see, like, are its wings gold? Does it
Sure, go
have
ahead.
gold feathers? Okay, cool. Perception or investigation or
Say, let's do investigation.
okay.
That's a heavy ass
What kind
dice.
of dice are you using?
A bowling ball dice.
It's the metal ones. So it's a natural 1. So we found another. We got another nat 1.
Oh, we got another one. I thought that I
Elaine
had
goes
10
blind.
more.
Yeah.
So
I'm not used to being short. I'm not. It's thrown
It's-
off my groove.
it's too. It feels like this creature's just cloaked in shadow. It's hard to make out any real like color, like definitive sort of feature kind of thing, something like that. It's hard to tell.
Mhm.
You can't. It's not really noticeable.
Oh dear. Okay, good. Excellent.
All right, Valterra.
I'm here.
All right. So the first thing to do is look around and see where Niall is and what he's doing.
He is getting very scared behind all of you.
Poor
Okay.
Niall.
So
Niall.
I'm going to
We love
touch,
Niall.
kind of like lay my hand on my chest, and you see this kind of like purplish, almost like silhouette that kind of like doubles off of my own form, and it's kind of like the silhouette of Vol as I cast Mage Armor, and he kind of like emerges and rises off of my form, and you see this just purplish kind of outline around my form. So I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself, and then as a bonus action, with my merge with stone, I'm going to also cast Blade Ward on myself.
Oh,
Ooh.
God.
And then I'm going to immediately grab Niall, and I'm going to kind of jump over this little wall, kind of onto this roof over here.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to like drag him with me and just shove him down behind this little stone wall before I kind of like, yeah, kind of keep him behind me over there, and then I'm just going to stand there, but like in between him and whatever this thing is.
Okay.
And I'm just going to be like, if I lose you now, your mother will never help me. And that's it.
All right. Well, with that, the creature, as it stares down at Elaine, you hear this weird. It's a very hollow, tinny kind of speech. Does anyone here speak Celestial?
I do.
You do.
I do.
So
It's a leftover.
as it holds its sword aloft and it stares down at you, it looks at you and it kind of tilts its head, and it just goes, "You do not have it." And it. See, how do I do this? So it can't move more than 30 feet from you.
It cannot. It can
Okay.
engage other creatures.
Okay.
But yeah.
Seeing you as something it needs to brush aside, it will still make a swing at you.
Bring it on.
So it's going to take its giant longsword and it's going to swing it right down at you. And that is going to be
No.
natural 20.
Oh no!
You
Davina throws
hate
her hand out. Davina throws her hand out to.
And
And she says no. She yells out no. Just no.
no.
No. Just no.
No,
Just
thank you.
No.
Jade.
No, thank you.
No. No.
No.
We don't do this.
No crit for you.
No crit for you.
No credit for you. Yeah, so you've got to re-roll and take the lesser, and then
Silvery
Elaine
barbs.
gets advantage on the next. Yeah.
am I already getting hit with my first silvery bar of the campaign?
Let's go, baby.
Oh, here we go.
You do cool things.
Yes.
I have a
Say
bard in my campaign.
Nat 1 or another nat 20.
I am not kidding.
No,
No.
I don't have my
Hold
phone.
on.
I wish I was kidding. I wish I was getting another 20.
That
Oh
one?
my gosh.
This luck is
Have
not
Never.
usual.
It's the new dice. It's the new dice. I gotta wear them out fast.
They're
my
weighted.
God.
They're weighted.
This
Guys,
is
the problem
unbelievable.
You put me in the campaign, and I'm gonna negate all that bad juju that Theon does.
I have
Thank
never.
you. Thank you so much.
You've
Thank you so much.
never
Thank you.
rolled like this.
Never.
And now that you're
Never.
the DM,
Eric's just the foil.
We lost her. She's gonna.
Bye.
I'm home. I need a ride home.
oh,
Mom, come at me. You're beating me up.
no.
I'm sorry, my tanky girl.
2 nat
I
20s?
tried.
Is there
That's
anything
wild.
anyone
I think
else
to
can
beat it-
do?
No bueno. No fucking
No,
bueno.
fucking bueno.
Oh my
No.
God, I wish we could find that vine.
I cannot find it
It's
anywhere.
It's gone. It just. It's
I
like,
cannot
it's no longer
find
in
it.
existence. Oh.
Okay, good news for you. I rolled a 2 d8s for the longsword, a 1 and a 2.
Well, there you go.
Oh god. Okay.
Okay.
But then plus
We do.
extra.
Wow. Excuse
Okay,
me.
this could have been way worse. You take 3 points of slashing damage
Okay.
and 6 points of thunder damage. I rolled 2 d10s and I rolled a 4 and a 2.
Thunder. Thunder.
Wow.
Thunder.
Oh,
Thunder.
that's
That
more
could
like
have
you.
been-
So
that
that's-
is much
so-
more like me.
So 9 damage total.
Total.
Okay, gotcha. We still in it. We still in this.
And then
Not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
the creature lifts its head and is sort of scanning across the group. And it's gonna stay put for now. And back top of the order, Davina.
Oh, wow.
And I.
Okay, it's standing. Right there. I think Davina's a little devastated by that hit too. So she is going to wave her metallic arm and point it at the creature, and she's going to heat metal again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Melt, you bitch.
Melt, you bitch! Do I have a heat metal sound effect? I do.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right, so that is max damage, correct?
It's a long day.
That's how that works when it's wearing metal?
No, it
For
just
12 damage.
Yeah.
Yes, 12 damage.
But again, you notice that even though it takes some damage, it seems to kind of not be too phased by the heat of the flames. But it takes some damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Jasper, my man, my roof man.
Roofman. Slayer of the Ground Man.
We'll see.
I'm gonna. I'll run back just a smidgeroo. Yeah, well, right here, just I want to stay even with Vel,
Okay.
and I will hold my action to shoot it when it tries to attack something, to try and hopefully like distract it.
Okay. Anything else?
That's gonna be it for me, dog.
All right. Violet.
I am still hidden, but let me roll. I have to roll stealth to keep it.
I believe so. Or does she
All
have
right.
to bonus action hide again?
She has to bonus action hide again.
You have to use your cunning action again.
By
I have to use
attacking, by attacking, you reveal yourself.
Right.
Aha. Question though, Elaine is next to it, so
So you don't
even
need
really-
advantage
I
on the
don't
hit.
have to.
You don't need advantage if you have an ally within 5 feet of it. when you hit.
Exactly. Yeah, so Elaine is there, which is great for me. So I am going to stay ducked behind, and then I'm going to again create my blade out of nothing, out of psychic energy, and then throw it, aiming for what I view to be the weakest point in the armor of this creature.
All right,
I
roll.
I am angry, so I just rolled, and it's not going to be enough. I rolled a 15.
The man.
Hold up. I'm learning features and traits.
You also have bardic inspiration.
You do.
I'm gonna use my bardic inspiration. I'm feeling
Is it
inspired all of a sudden.
D6?
For a
Go
2,
to
so that's
Woo!
it's a D6. It's not a one. It's not a D4.
Is it? What is it?
What is it? Is
bardic?
it a,
I don't know.
bardic inspiration?
I don't know what it is.
Davina.
At
Oh,
level. I
it's
think
a
it's a 4.
D6. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's a
It's a
6 at
D6.
3. At 3.
Okay, so I rolled 3, so I have 18.
That hits.
Woo!
And now I'm going to roll my damage.
Hell yeah.
1d6 plus 4. Again, that's a 6. And with my offhand, I'm going to summon another blade and throw it in the same place.
And this is a separate attack roll?
Mm-hmm. That is a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
And that is just 5 damage.
Just 5 damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You are now noticing when the dagger hits, it lands right in the side of the creature, and the armor goes, and there is now a crack running all the way through, like spider webbing up this creature's armor.
Okay.
All right, Vale. Or, I'm sorry, Elaine.
Okay. Okay. I'm curious about this thing. Is it automaton? Can I, like, this is not, I don't know what's going on. Okay.
I believe you have a divine sense.
I
You
do,
wanted
but
to
it
try
takes a
that.
whole action.
It does take a whole action.
It takes a whole
It's a
freaking
whole,
action.
it's a whole ass action.
Whole ass action, and I want to do the hits, is the thing. So, okay. I am... Nope, I'm doing my guard dog thing. It is a threat. I need to neutralize it. So, I'm gonna take another swing at this thing and see what I can
Swing
do.
away.
Swing away. Okay, that's better. An 18 to hit.
That it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm gonna smite on this one.
Oh.
So it's 2d6 slashing with the great sword. Let's see. 6 and 1, 7. And then divine smite is 2d8 radiant damage. So let me see. Where's my d8? 5. Okay. So 7 slashing damage and 10 radiant damage.
Damn!
Wow.
Oh, this thing.
Just
Bam.
Wow.
yeah.
Day woman.
There we go. Day woman.
Fighter of the
The-
night,
Oh.
them.
The sword
Oh.
comes around, and right where Violet had thrown her dagger that cracked that chink in the armor, your sword makes contact. But when it makes contact, a bright flash of light explodes with it in your divine smite as this holy energy channels itself through the blade. And as it hits the armor pretty much shatters. And there is now a huge open area on the side of this creature.
What's it
There's
look
more
like?
Dark, sort of like shadowy, kind of gray
Ooh.
skin underneath.
Well,
Skin.
they were
Oh, that's
look like.
Skin. Okay.
Hmm.
All
Okay.
right, what a hit! It's
Yeah.
it's looking a little.
And then I think I don't have any bonus actions, and that's my only spell slot. So with the rest of my turn, like using my movement, I want to get on the back side of this thing to draw its attention away from the group. So I'm gonna.
You want to go? Like
yeah.
here?
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
Awesome. And that's it. That's my turn.
All right, Val.
Alright. So I'm gonna just like look down at Niall. I'm gonna be like, stay here. And I'm going
I'm not going anywhere.
to kind of slide down the roof, the kind of angled roof, drop to the ground, and I'm going to run the 35 feet that I have, like I think it's up to here, somewhere around there. Just so I can get a view of him.
Yep.
It, whatever. And I'm going to use my reskinned Eldritch Blast. Called a
Ooh, what?
Crux Blast?
Crux Blast. Let's go.
So I'm gonna kind of like, as I slide down, run up that little switchback. The kind of purplish form that's kind of overlaid over mine is going to kind of like separate slightly, and you see kind of two arms reach forward at the same time, and the energy kind of like coalesces from around me down those two arms and forward in this like blue purple swirling mass, and I'm going to attempt to hit it with the Crux Blast.
Amazing.
Ooh, awesome.
That is. That's a 22 to hit.
Sure does.
So 1
Let's go.
plus 3. Let's go. That was my 10. There it is.
Ooh.
That is 11 points of necrotic damage, I think. Or force damage. Sorry, force damage.
Force damage. All right. This thing is looking pretty beat.
And that is all I have. So, yeah. I'll just kind of call up to Jasper. And be like, you waiting on something up there?
I'm still waiting for it to attack something.
Okay. That's it.
All right. Well, the creature turns, looks at Elaine, repeats the phrase that it mentioned to you before. You do not have it.
What are you looking for?
It ignores you. It turns. And it immediately looks at Violet hiding underneath the wheelbarrow. And it goes to just take a step forward, and it makes its way towards Violet. Now, Elaine, it's gonna go outside of your melee if you want to take an opportunity attack.
Absolutely, I do.
Absolutely.
Ooh!
23 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I will do 8 slashing damage to it.
Ooh. It's looking at you take your sword, and as you hit it, you actually manage to, we'll say you swung low and you actually managed to basically take it out at one of its legs, and its lower right leg like triples and twists, and it sort of leans down, but it continues walking towards Violet, much slower now. Let's see, how far would it get in that case?
Ooh.
It would get like right up in front of her, and it's gonna lean down and say, "You have it."
Can I understand the creature or no?
Nope.
Is it celestial? No.
Nope. And it's gonna raise its sword
Uh,
to swing.
As it does that, because I held my action I am going to run off the roof and just straight into its dome, just like
Let's
poof.
fucking
Yeah.
go. So,
Oh.
I rolled
I-
a natural 15,
Beautiful.
so it hits. I can roll damage if you would like.
go ahead.
Okay.
Excellent.
Say it,
Well,
say
it
it,
was
Theo. Say it.
10 on the die, so that's a big ol' 15.
Oh gosh.
Jasper, how do you want to do this?
I'm
I know, but I just want to say it anyway.
I run, I take off as Vel yells, "Are you gonna do something?" And it starts walking towards this person that's been traveling with us. I run and jump off the roof and do like a front flip, and as I'm like perpendicular to it, I just pop one directly in its head. Like if it's wearing like a helmet, it goes like straight through the visor, and then land on the other side of it in superhero pose.
My God, you're so extra. I love it. All right,
Hard
so
on the knees, isn't it?
Michael,
So-
what exactly is your superhero pup? You're gonna have to describe that in a little bit more detail.
Yes.
The like
Excellent.
one hand on the ground and the other hand that has the pistol
Mhm.
like out behind me.
Amazing. So the Jasper goes off the roof. Bam! Gunshot is fired, and Violet, you see this creature now towering over you, and you're stuck. You are cornered in to this area that you thought was a safe space to hide, but you are now realizing is actually boxing you into this space, and the creature now has you cornered. And as it raises its sword to swing, you hear that gunshot. and instead of the sword coming down, the creature starts to list to the side of its one good leg left that it had been trying to stand on, and it falls to the ground, vanquished.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Well done, everyone. And as the adrenaline kind of wears off, again, all that's left is the sound of the rain and thunder in the street.
I'm gonna walk over and help Violet up and look at Jasper and say, "You're pretty good in a fight, in a tight spot."
And Sal is going to look at Jasper and say, not bad, but I had it handled.
You really did not. Also, okay, I didn't know who you were before today. I like you now.
Fine. Fine.
Jury's still out on you three.
I'm
gonna
Where
ignore-
is Niall at this point?
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore all four of them and go and make sure that Niall is still hiding.
He is cowering on the roof where Vel left him.
I'll just go and kind of pick him up. All right, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
It was crazy. That was crazy.
Dude,
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask the group, what the fuck?
Can I activate Divine Sense to figure out what it is?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay,
Ooh.
awesome. Yeah,
So
so
that's just an action.
yeah, it's just an action, and it says that I can find the forces of evil. So I know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of me that's not behind total cover. I'm just trying to basically identify, is this one of those three things?
Also, don't forget
and if
that
it is,
every
what is
villain
it?
is lemons. So
This
just keep
is
that in mind.
interesting. Now, what does this mean? So
We have oranges, now we have lemons.
It's fucking
Evil.
citrus.
Every
Oh,
villain is
citrus
lemon.
evil.
Alright, so Elaine,
Mhm.
you realize that time is of the essence in this case as well, because the life force or whatever of this thing is pretty much slipping away after it was just smited by a bullet to the dome.
Smoked?
What?
Smeet.
Loaded?
Smeeted.
Smotated.
Smotated.
Potatoes.
Potato.
Potatoes.
Smotatoed.
Boil 'em, mash 'em,
It's like
cook 'em,
mashed
stew 'em.
potatoes.
It was smotatoed.
It's unhinged now, is what it is.
I'm doing an
Yeah.
autopsy.
Yeah. And what you pick up, what you sense, you can feel it in your core, because while a lot of you is powered by a crux core, there is holy divine energy that is also woven into the power of your system. And from that piece of you, you can feel that this was a creature of the celestial sort.
Okay. It spoke celestial. It is a celestial, but I don't know what it is. We need to keep moving. Is there a
What?
safe house nearby?
I
Elaine,
turn to Niall and I grab him by the ear and I just say, "What in Nine's orgy have you gotten us into?"
I'm gonna hold up a finger and say, hang on, just a second. Did that one just say it spoke celestial?
and
Meaning you understood it?
Yes.
Well, what did it say?
It said that you have it. Turns out
I have it?
maybe this. No, I'm pointing to Sal.
Oh,
It says you had it. Turns out that feather, maybe it is actually important.
I'm sorry. Feather.
We knew that.
oh,
Who
no,
what?
nothing. There's Elaine was just she misspoke.
I don't misspeak. I
Yeah,
can't.
Elaine, I do a psionic whisper to Elaine, and I say, in my head,
For a long rest.
you're not. Okay. Oh,
Okay,
no, it's
okay,
actually the first time after a long rest I get it. It's free, and then I get one after. It's my second and last one.
Okay.
I'll roll the dice for how long this lasts. 1 hour. Elaine. On the feather. No talk about
Don't
feather.
shoot
I know.
him.
I
Don't
know.
shoot
I'm
him.
okay. Sorry. I'm just still a little frazzled. We're keeping the feather a secret between the three of us and Niall.
Okay.
Okay.
I know it's
safe
hard for you
house.
to lie. I know it's very hard for you to lie. So do we want
It's
to? What do you
not
want to call
hard.
it instead?
It's impossible.
Impossible. So call it just an. Can you call it just an item, or a?
Are we
I don't know, I'll
watching
leave it
them
to
just
you.
like looking at each other?
Yep.
Intensely.
Okay.
You're like, Elaine, I
Ga-
trust you. I trust you. I trust you. You got. Okay.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know.
I'm sorry. I shushed you. I'm so sorry. Just frazzled.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
look
what's
at
going.
Niall. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. What is the feather? What is you? I look at Elaine. What is it? I look at the celestial. I just want to go home.
Well, Elaine's my automaton, but
Cool. Feather.
I don't. None of us know what that is.
Niall, what the hell's going on?
Niall, what's the feather?
Yeah, he's what? Wait, what? Why are you asking him?
Right. He doesn't know anything.
Well, it has nothing to do with me or Jasper, and we didn't get caught up in this shit until we caught up with you four. So it has something to do with you four. Niall, what's going on? What have you gotten into?
Yeah, Niall, what have you gotten us into?
You don't know if anything is connected.
Safe house. Now.
Let's.
I agree with Elaine. Let's figure this out somewhere else, please. My hair is getting wet. I'm practically melting.
Let's
I'm
go.
so sorry, my lady. And I open the umbrella. Go back to
I am going to
my
go and
book.
investigate before we leave, like what's under, though. Like what exactly is this thing that attacked?
You want to go look at the creature?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So you just what are you trying to?
I'm trying to investigate. Does it have any letters on it? Anything?
I want its weapon for sure.
Yeah.
I'm taking the longsword.
I'm gonna take its longsword and hand it to Elaine and say, Elaine, this.
You
I
can't
think
even
it's-
carry it. She's the only one who. It's a heavy. It's big. It's a heavy piece of shit.
Okay.
I like this.
And then I'm searching for anything that can give us a sense as to like who this was. And just kidding.
No.
You rolled another nat one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jess.
These are
What,
my
Jess?
sad dice. I know.
Oh,
I
no.
know.
That bodes.
Oh no.
That
Oh,
bodes
no.
no way.
R nar. Nar crime for yar.
No, no, Prime. Oh.
Oh no. Well, listen.
It's a 6
raining
total.
really hard. It's raining really, really hard.
Can I help you
It's a
out,
muddy mess
Sal?
on the ground.
Is it
It's
dead? Is it dead?
dead.
Not to tell you what to do, but you're clearly the strongest one here. I'm looking at Elaine. You're the strongest one here. Can you carry that thing
Can I?
or
You
drag
can
it?
make a strength check.
I will do that. Nat 20, let's go.
Hell yeah.
Let's go! Let's fucking go!
1 to a 20.
She
just
throws
roll
it
it.
on her back like it's a fucking drawstring bag at the gym.
Wonderful.
I just pick it up by its wings and just
Yeah.
Let's do this somewhere else.
agreed.
Well, my house is right around the corner. We have a
Good.
carriage
Nope.
garage that we could dump it in.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm carrying this thing and still holding the umbrella over Davina. So just
You are a miracle, Elaine.
don't I know
He
it?
is neat.
All right, so you guys heading to the Arison house?
Yes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as we're walking though, I'm once again gonna put my arm around Niall's shoulder and kind of like away from the rest of the group. And I'm just gonna be like, is it time now for you to tell me what the hell's going on? When does that happen?
Tomorrow?
Fine.
The heaviest subsides.
All right, so y'all make your way farther up the street, and then you kind of turn a corner, and it's a house that's tucked. It's kind of like a cul-de-sac. It's sort of like an end street. It's a little bit more out of the way. Clearly, a house that tends to like its privacy. It's a pretty decent sized dwelling as well. I mean, Captain Arison is hardly the richest person or like the biggest mogul in Scarport, but she does pretty well for herself. So there's a nice kind of 2-story estate, and sure enough, right next to it is a large carriage house. And Niall kind of ushers you all over and says, "Okay, well, this is probably a safe space that we could put it for now. I don't really know where else to bring it."
I'll say
A bit.
I don't know what this thing is, so once you throw it down, I'm gonna say just in case, and I'm gonna pull out. It looks like a long, like skinning knife, essentially, and I'm gonna turn it around and just start carving at its wings and like ripping them off just in case. I don't know if it's gonna come back to life, but I don't want it to fly away. And I will do
So
this
this
as other people are like talking. I'm like just in case, and like you guys can do whatever you want, but I'm like starting to carve this thing up.
Disturbing, but I appreciate it.
Oh wow. Ooh.
Do you take a trophy after every kill?
Not a trophy. I just anything that can fly can get away and tell other things where we are.
You're vicious.
You're a
I like it.
paranoid motherfucker, aren't you?
I just look at Davina. I don't even say anything. I just like look at her and I go back to carving.
I like it.
I like whisper to Sal, I'm
Um,
like, oh, I think I like him too.
Yeah. He's
It was
Yeah,
the
he's
first we like
vicious.
him. I will
Okay.
just make sure this is clear.
Okay.
yes, Elaine. You always get first place.
You do.
Thank you. Did anyone else get hit other than me?
Shirley did not.
No.
No.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna lay on hands myself and get myself back to full.
Ooh,
So,
what does that
just-
look like? Elaine does.
I think before they went, Elaine, like parts of her porcelain got like chipped away or fell out, and so she kind of like stuffed them into her pocket and then puts it back into the spot where it fell. And there's like a little glowing gold as the metal melts, and then it puts its piece back in
Are
place.
you Kintsugi?
So, I am Kitsugi.
I love it.
I don't know if that was good or not. Oh,
I
okay,
love
good. Yay! Yeah. So I think it's just that, and then putting a couple pieces back together, like straightening out some kind of piston that got tilted. But yeah, just like a soft kind of golden light, and I get back to being healthy.
All right. Well, Niall kind of ushers you all. And is like, all right, we just get inside. I'm so tired of being out in this rain.
Oh, you're tired.
So he goes and he rushes and he opens the door. And he goes in and you all kind of see through the threshold of the doorway that it's pretty much a pitch black house. And Niall's like, "Ma, I'm home." And then he goes, "Oh crap, I forgot I broke all the lamps."
I'll
You know what, Dial? If ignorance is bliss, you must be the happiest person in the world.
I'll throw up
It's all right.
Really happy.
I'll throw up dancing lights.
Alrighty.
Which for me, like as a high elf, it kind of just like looks like I'm pulling like wisps of light out of thin air and kind of just coalescing them and like tossing little orbs of light in front of me.
Alrighty.
I can't do as much as this one, but I can do
Well,
that much.
Better than nothing. So you all walk into the Arison abode, and you notice that something doesn't quite
Mm-hmm.
No, she dead. Remember the person who was
No,
dead?
In the house.
I know.
I thought that was gonna be happen. I didn't want it to be. The thing that happened though.
As the lightning flashes outside and thunder rolls, there is just a faint glow from the dancing lights from Jasper that start to work their way around the house. But it's interesting with these dancing lights, the way that they move, they're constantly moving, and so the light source is constantly shifting and changing, and these crazy shadows cast themselves all over the wall that seem to clash with the flashes of lightning that come in through the windows. And as you work your way in through the foyer, Niall calls out again, Ma? Wait, I thought she would have been home by now. And she starts watching back in.
Yeah, it's excellent.
This guy is
And he goes-
so dead without his mom.
And he goes,
No.
she's probably in her study. Let's go this way. And he takes you to a room around the corner. And that's when you guys can tell that something isn't quite right. You can smell that metallic and rusty smell. And then you see it in the shadows cast by the dancing lights. There on the floor of the study is a big mass, twisted in kind of strange angles. And as you pull yourself closer, and Jasper, you bring those dancing lights farther in, you kind of bring them together into one mass that stop dancing and hold their place above the floor. And there on the floor, under the light of these dancing lights, is the body of Captain Laurel Arison, lying
Violet.
in a large pool of blood.
Oh no.
Sal
No,
runs over
Val-
her.
Vel is going to immediately turn to Niall. He's going to grab him by the lapels and jack him up against the wall. And he's going to say, "Fuck tomorrow. You tell me what you're into right goddamn now."
And while that's happening, Sal has already run to the captain because of their history together, and she's dead or can do any sort of medicine check on.
I pump all the remaining points of my lay on hands into the corpse.
All of this happens. The lay on hands is like the corpse receives it. You're able to kind of dispel that energy, but nothing moves. You can do a medicine check if you want, Violet.
Can I assist Violet?
Yeah, I'll do. Yep.
I'll assist Violet. I'll tell Elaine to go check. No, never mind. I don't want you to leave. No,
No, that's right.
just
I'll
be
go-
ready.
14.
I'll go to the door.
Yeah, I mean, you reach down, you check for pulse. There's none. You do notice that there are 3 large bullet holes in her chest. She's dead, and she's definitely been dead for at least maybe I don't know, an hour or so.
Okay. Was the door unlocked? I want to look and see if it's damaged and if there's broken windows. I want to find out if it was forced entry or if she let this person in.
Give me.
I'll help you, Elaine. I'll give you Bardic.
Why are we all so
Put my-
dumb intelligence wise?
Meanwhile,
I don't know why we did
meanwhile,
this. Is it investigation?
it's investigation. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Belterra is holding Niall up against the wall, and he stands there and is staring down at the corpse of his mother in complete and utter shock. And he just kind of lets out like a, I don't know what happened.
I'll walk up next to Velterra and I'll put the gun to his head and say,
He'll close his
"You
eyes.
talk now."
And Elaine, you notice that there was no forced entry. When
Mhm.
Niall opened the door, he unlocked it in the way that he always does.
Okay.
and just walked inside.
He had to unlock it.
Or I'm sorry, he just
Or-
walked. He just walked
okay.
in the door because he expected his mother to be home.
Okay, I was like, they're in here.
Sorry.
God.
Violet. Sorry, go.
No, I was just gonna say, all of this is happening. All of the activity in the room centers itself on Niall with a gun to his head, and he looks down on the floor and he just goes, "Ma? Huh."
Get him out of here.
And that is where we're ending the session this evening.
What?
Miss Keisha!
Wow.
Miss Keisha! Oh, she fucking dead.
Oh, that's fucking
So
dead.
he seems like he's. How dare you end the session like this? So he
Disbelief.
disbelief.
Trauma.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Miss Keisha. Oh god, she fucking dead.
Oh my
Captain.
God.
Everyone who has stayed with us on our first session of our Zholmyr campaign, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We hope
And
you'll
also
tune in
thank
next
you
time.
to Theo for DMing his first session.
Yes!
Woo.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
I had so much fun. We are excited to have you join us tonight, and hopefully you'll tune in again 2 weeks from tonight on August 11th, I believe, for our next session, same time, same place.
Rat-a-tat.
But until then, everyone have a great start to your week tomorrow, and thanks for pulling up a seat at our table.
Yes.
Thanks,
Bye. Love you.
Bye.